Good morning, welcome to today's RC Coffee Chat. Now, for those of you which are on the live version, can you let me know if you can hear me nice and loud and clearly? That would be fantastic. Obviously, Bristolian excuse. So, assuming everything is good, let's have a look at what we've got in today's RC Coffee Chat for you. And I'm just keeping a half an eye on the chat. So, topic number one. A live chat with Stuart yesterday over the Sidewinder. That was extremely cool. We'll get onto that in a moment. Yes, brilliant. So the audio is good. The topic number two is no-show. We'll get onto that in a few moments' time. Mini Draks have landed. Topic which we'll be discussing very shortly. Yesterday was a flying day here in the United Kingdom of not wetness, a little bit of windiness, and definitely coldness. We got some feedback on the Skywalker X2. Oh, what's in the box? Can anybody guess what's in that box? And I'm going to rotate it around. You can guess now. Like so. There's the box. I'll even put it upside down for you as well. Any guesses what's in the box? And I'll give you a hint. It's not a camera lens. Sound and video good. Thank you, Kev. Appreciate that, sir. On there. So any guesses on what's in that box? And I'll give you a hint. It is not a camera. All right. It's not an FPV camera either. I opened it up and what on earth? We'll take a look at that in a minute. And topic number 7 was, it is going to be nuts with ragged as well. Big hat tip to Katie. Brilliant. Oh, those of you which are on the live version, if you refresh, you'll get the vote in the top right hand corner for you as well. A shark and an F-16 is the last topic for today. So let's get back onto topic number 1, which was the live chat which we had with Stuart yesterday. Oh, man. Oh, did someone just say tacos? Oh, stop making me hungry. Yeah, Riff, you're absolutely right. So, onto the chat which we had with Stuart yesterday. Absolutely fantastic. I really did like the plastic leading edge on the front. That's I know that when I've hit barbed wire fences, for example, is that goes straight through foam, and that was, and as we could tell with the chat with Stuart, is that the Sidewinder has been really quite well thought out. As well, so a massive hat tip for Stuart for that yesterday. I really enjoyed that, and we managed to squeeze it in 29 minutes. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. Let's have a quick look on. Topic number 2 is no show. So just following on from not yesterday's topic, but Tuesday's note on this. I am in London this afternoon and I won't be back until late this evening. If I do not appear for tomorrow's RC Coffee Chat, don't panic. It just means that I'm sleeping. Okay. It is an hour and 40 minutes here from Bristolia. So we'll see. We'll see what time I'm back and whether I'm up in time in the morning. Okay, so I just want to give you a heads up on that one. Also, there will definitely be no RC Coffee Chat on Sunday morning. I'm away on Saturday night, so there won't be any RC Coffee Chat on Sunday morning as well. I'm trying to give you as much notice as possible. Topic number 3 is the mini Draks have been and landed. The Chris Click put up in the Right Wing Drak owners group yesterday. There is 1,350 mini Draks which have been and turned up over in the US. So they've gone through customs, and those of you which have pre-ordered them, I assume they'll be out shortly. Oh, one thing to note is back. Oh, you can see it there in the back of that picture just there. Is that there are some blocks of foam up there. Reading through the comments, the spar covers need to be hot wire cut because they just couldn't be moulded because they're too small. So it looks like there's a load of the spar covers which need to get cut before they'll be sent out. Moving across, you can just see the size of the boxes going on. Absolutely fantastic. So mini Draks have now been and landed. Let's have a quick look. So that leads me really nicely on to yesterday being a flying day. Now, to be honest, I really didn't get much video footage at all from yesterday's flying. It was just me up flying, and I had some really, really good fun. Took the mini Drak up, also took the Tundra and the EF Extra as well. Now, with the Tundra, I managed to spend some time with it to sort out the flaps. I'm still getting it. She's still diving when you take the flaps off, which is something which I still need to play with. She's an awful lot better. She's stopped ballooning now, and she's more predictable. But when you turn the flaps completely off, she is, what is she doing? Yeah, she's just diving towards the ground. So I do need to look at my settings for that one in there. It's good morning, Lee, as well, and we'll do shout out corner next as well. The mini Drak now, one thing which I'm sure you've probably seen in the Facebook group is that I did take the motor was mounted right on the back of the mini Drak, and what I actually did was turn the motor mount upside down and mount it the other way around, so the motor was further back away from the rear edge of the model. Now, the primary reason for doing that was for noise, and the other one I was curious what it would do to just outright speed on it. And the good news is that she's about a third quieter, which is a massive difference. And the other one is that she's flying faster as well. And when I say flying faster, I did one long speed run and we clocked up 114 miles an hour. And that was without an epic great big dive. It was literally probably up about 50 meters, brought her down to about 10, and then went caning it across the fields. And we clocked up 114 miles an hour. So that's the fastest I've been in the mini Drak, and she's quieter as well. So that has got to be classed as happy days indeed. So what else did I put on my notes on here? Oh yeah, she will now, I got some more like gentle time with her, if that makes sense. It was very peculiar because you could go quite a long distance very quickly and come back equally as quickly as well. She will cruise at around about 8 amps for about 40 miles an hour, which I thought was quite impressive. And I also did break the propeller on the EF Extra as well, which is a bit bloody annoying because you can't get these 7x6.5 propellers off the Hobby King site. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that right now. I don't fancy downgrading it to 3S, so I'll probably put one of those 7x6 props here on instead. So that is a bit of a pain in the bottom, to say the least. And the reason why it broke is that on launch I didn't give it enough beans and it went up and it just didn't have enough speed to carry on and just went into the ground. So yeah, it is what it is. So with that said, let's move across to Shout Out Corner. This is where we get to say hello to you this morning, or this evening, or this afternoon, depending where you are in the world. So a very good morning to Kev. Stu may not be here. He's actually gone off flying, I believe. So good morning or good afternoon, Stu. Howdy, Philip. Philip, we will get onto those two new models, which what should we call it? Which we will discuss in a few moments' time. Let's have a quick look. Good morning, Riff, as well. Good morning, Joe. Good morning, BMX. Good morning, Royden, as well. Oh, Bleakus is on here as well. Stitmix Rads, good morning. And Scott, good morning as well. And how could I forget? Good morning, Joe, too. So obviously, if you are watching the recorded version, you can say howdy in the comments section underneath. And I've just seen two names just pop up on the top there. Good morning, Brad, and good morning, RC Air as well. Happy days. Right, let's move back to the main screen. There we go. And you'll notice that it's a double hooded day here. It's absolutely blustering out there, and we haven't got a good flying day for several days by the looks of it. Almost a week. Boo, boo. Right, next topic was some Skywalker. Many of you which will remember this model, I did a joke episode on it, well, me just taking the piss with the wife, to be honest, a short while ago. Was it Keith? Yeah, Keith wrote quite an interesting post in the Facebook group about the model, about the propeller suggestion being completely off. The CG being completely off as well, and his experience with them too. So that hasn't actually been a good one. And in many ways, I'm kind of glad that I didn't actually buy it in the end. And to be honest, it was grossly overpriced at $110, which is what we call it, 100 quid. There's a lot of other models which you can buy. You can buy 2 models for that. So that was never really going to be on my radar for it. Yeah, now this brings us back to this box here. What's in the box? Now this got me stumped. I had 2 of these little boxes turn up yesterday, and I'm here looking for a knife, and I'll open up this one. I was like, what? I didn't order any cameras. What on earth is in the box? So let's get this one open and see what we got. Any guesses yet? Any guesses at all? Because it threw me off when it arrived. I'll give you another little hint. That's probably about the biggest hint which I've got, besides opening it right up. And I do need to go careful. That's probably another big hint as well. Let me open this one up. Nicely well packed, and ta-da! Put my hand around the back so it actually focuses. Thank you. It's a Runcam battery for the Runcam 2 cameras. I bought 2 spare ones. I have finally had one of the Runcam batteries. It is properly, bloated out on the top of it, and to the point I was having issues trying to get it out of the camera. So I finally caved in and bought some spare Runcam 2 batteries, which things like the mini Drak, for example, that every time you fly that one, I need a Runcam 2 in the nose. So I have noticed I've been getting through the Runcam 2 batteries very, very quickly, because I've got 2 of them. I've got a silver one and memory cards out of that one. I got a silver one and an orange one. I'd like to do perhaps with the mini Drak, have one on each wing so I get 2 different camera angles. But lately I've not been able to do that because I didn't have a spare battery for them. So bought those off Banggood. I've charged one up, worked brilliantly, absolutely brilliantly. So happy days. Happy days. Branded, as Kev says, branded Sunny Sky Motor. Yeah, that was horrific when we had those fake ones turn up. I've still not used them in any of the models. Right, moving on to topic number 7. Nuts were ragged. Now this one is to KD. I think it's on the right. Get the right tab. There we go. KD. Now there is a vote which goes along with today's RC Coffee Chat. You can place your vote on what you think of KD's AXN in the top right-hand corner. Personally speaking, that looks pretty normal for an AXN. The rudder fin, by the looks of it, has been fallen off. The motor mount is fallen off as well. The fuselage is mostly still in one piece as well. And the nose area, it's only an optional accessory and it needs lots of tape around it. So, yeah, not the end of the world with the AXN. And I swear blind you could fill one of those up with cement and it would still fly. Crazy things. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just looking at your chat in the background. So yeah, Nuts Where Rag goes out to Katie this morning. Honestly, bit of hot glue and it will be fine. I'm sure we have all seen worst AXNs being posted in the Facebook group, and you would be really surprised what you can do with a bit of hot glue. I've never known a model like it to be able to survive the amount of hot glue out there. Hot glue tape and carbon fibre. Yeah, it's standard. Yeah. And Joanne says, yeah, not inverted, obviously, for it. So, Katie, well done, sir. Very well done on your AXN. But to be honest, a bit of hot glue, that sort of out, I'm sure. Yeah. Mine's looked like that at one stage or another, and it still flies now. Crazy thing. Right, our last topic for this morning is Philip brought this up in the chat beforehand, and it's 2 models which I'm going to touch on, but I've got no interest in either of them. The first one is the Hobby King F16 Falcon, and again, this YouTube channel is kind of like focused on what I'm interested in, which just so happens majority of you which are interested in as well. Did look at this model. Landing gear looks completely weak, no good for landing in a farmer's field. Also, it has a great big mud and poo scoop on the bottom of it here. You can take the landing gear off apparently and just belly land it, but that's absolutely no good for where I normally fly. So just huge amounts of poo are just going to go straight in the front in there. So that one's a bit of a write-off for me. And the other one, which I'm sure you've probably seen, the Shark aeroplane. Yeah, not for me at all. F-16, yes, absolutely. Oh, good lad. Rudd's in the background is saying, good, what a morning, coffee, cookies, Ragnanuts, OC, and drawing my owl. Happy days. Oh, and that's to go on your wing as well, isn't it, Ruds? Happy days. Happy days. Yeah, Riff says, great lawn darts. Yeah, that would make quite a little hole in the ground when you do stuff it in the nose and ground in there. So, yeah, just land inverted. Yeah, good point, Red. And we could maybe plough the field for the farmer as well with a rudder, like that. Who knew? I don't know, but just generally not for me. So I'm sure if you like F-16s and you've got somewhere to land it, that would be cool. And maybe if you've got kids which are flying with you, having a Shark flying around would also be equally good fun. But really not for me, and both a tad expensive for what they feel, what they're on there. Nice review of the Shark, better than I'd said it. Yeah, absolutely. And good morning, Andy, as well. So time for us to wrap up. So this morning is going to be quite a quick one. We had the chat with Stuart yesterday about the Sidewinder wing. Really cool, really cool. There's a lot of things which I like about that. I did check the Hobby King site this morning. Obviously, it's broken. There's no Sidewinder wing in there. But as Stuart mentioned, we're unlikely to see it until about May is time as well. The mini Drak has been and landed. There's parts on there. There was another photo down here. Let me click on that one so you can see it. Yeah, look, lots and lots of mini Draks. Super cool. And that foam is ridiculously dense. Really, really, really dense. Yeah, it's like the most densest foam I've ever seen. Topic number 2, which I kind of missed there, is that don't panic if I'm not around for tomorrow. I haven't fallen off the planet. Is that I've got to go and do a talk this afternoon over in London, and I can't guarantee that I will be up tomorrow morning. Fingers crossed I will be, but I just want to give you like an early heads up for that one. And also Sunday, there is absolutely no RC Coffee Chat on Sunday. I'm away on Saturday night, and I will be nowhere near a computer. I need a day off or two, put it that way. And yeah, yesterday was a flying day. Mini Drak was the star of the show. Moving that motor back was an inspired idea. It flies quieter and she flies faster. There are no negatives to doing that. Literally, if you're going to own a mini Drak, you'll know that the thrust angle needs to go all the way through the nose. So instead of the standard setup, I turned the motor mount up the other way, so the thrust angle was exactly the same. Used the same prop and everything, and it flies absolutely fantastic. And I'm just amazed by the speed which that model flies consistently, and also how well it was when I wasn't flying particularly fast as well, and how well it coped with the wind too. It was a little bit choppy out there yesterday. Yeah, and talking of yesterday, you also broke the prop off the EFX. And I still got a little bit of work to do with the Tundra. I've still got the FPV pod here. I haven't sorted out, so that's going to have to wait a day or two. Well, the weather's utter pants as well. Let's have a quick look at your chat on there. Have fun in London, yeah, village. Yeah, it should be fun. It's only for a short period of time, but it's still an hour and 40 minutes, then some tube time to get where I need to get to go. So it is what it is, and it doesn't look like we'll be doing something like that again in the future. So yeah, we'll see. The X2, read Keith's comments in the Facebook group. Not particularly good, to say the least. We also had what's in the box. That really did confuse me for that little Runcam 2 battery. Talk about well packed though. That wasn't going anywhere, was it? Oh, I did notice there was no LiPo warnings on the back either, and that is a LiPo battery which is in there. Hey ho. And then finally, well, last but one, Katie's AXN. That's just kind of about normal for an AXN. Remember, you can vote for Katie's AXN in the top right hand corner for it. And there was 2 other models which had come out by Hobby King recently. The F16 Lawn Dart and great for the kids Shark model, and that's just me being diplomatic. That is in that there's just not 2 models which I would personally own. That's not really my cup of tea for the Shark. And that thing just has a great big poo scoop and wouldn't last 5 minutes. Well, it'd last a battery or until it landed either normally or inverted to plough the field, as one of you suggested this morning. And that's it for today's RC Coffee Chat. Thank you ever so much for joining me for today. Griff says, I love the kebabs in London. Oh, yeah. London's a fantastic place. I've worked out there for 9 months or so. Yeah, really, really busy. Pretty damn cool. Food's fantastic. You just can't... Everywhere is open the vast majority of the time. It's a very, very cool place. But it's also a much better place if you only go and visit for a day, or in my case, an afternoon stroke evening, so that you can come back home, especially to Bristolia, because I do prefer this side of the UK an awful lot more. A lot more greener, put it that way. So on that note, time for us to wrap up. Thank you ever so much for joining me for today's RC Coffee Chat. If you have enjoyed today's RC Coffee Chat, do me a favour, press the thumbs up button underneath this video. And remember, if it is your first time here, welcome aboard. We do normally run these RC Coffee Chats every single morning at 6 a.m. GMT. And you can follow along our journeys with RC. And if that's something which you'd like to join in with, press the subscribe button underneath this video. And on that note, I've got a busy day in front of me. If you're off out flying today, like Stu was, have a fantastic time. If it's time for bed, good night. And if you're here in the United Kingdom, good morning. It's going to be a good day. So on that note, from myself, Matt, cheerios.